So hello everybody, good evening, welcome to Officers Adda 247. Today in the target series we'll be discussing the PPB subject of your we'll be discussing the PPB subject of your JAIIB examination, and under the PPB subject we will be talking about unit number 5. In unit 5 we have n number of topics ranging from your types of accounts till there are certain nuances which takes care of the, you can say, nominee facility, plus along with that there are certain unclaimed fund also. All these topics will be covered in unit number 5. But what we will be discussing in this session, let's see. So the objective of studying this unit will be, it will be revolving or hovering around these 4 topics. First of all, we'll be understand the different types of deposit accounts. We'll learn about various deposit options available, plus the operational instructions. The real life examples can be asked in the examination from this particular topic. IIBF has this habit of asking case studies in PPB exam. So directly operational instructions can be asked by the IIBF via certain case study. So to gain insight into the procedures for dealing with deposit accounts, these are the operational instructions. Next we have legal norms and interest rates. In order to understand these legal framework and interest rates applicable to the deposit accounts, we must be very serious while studying the unit number 5. Lastly, as I was telling you, the unclaimed deposits is also one of the topic, but the most important part will be the DEF account. What do we mean by DEF account? We'll be studying under the unclaimed deposits, and the objective of this unit, why it is discussing the unclaimed deposit, to familiarize yourself with handling of cooperative accounts and unclaimed deposits. Okay, so basic objective of the entire unit number 5 is this, but we will be specifically focusing on the deposit accounts, and that too only the current accounts in this particular lecture. Then we'll be shifting focus towards the nominee facility and some unclaimed deposits also. First of all, let's start our discussion with the salient features of deposit accounts. Now, as you know, that the types of accounts are only two, that is your demand and term deposits. When I talk about demand deposits, as the term suggests, that you can demand them anytime. Anytime, I don't mean that 24 hours, but any business hours, any time between the business hours of the bank. So demand deposit can be withdrawn on demand. And what types of accounts are there which are holding these demand deposits? The current account and your savings account. Next we have term deposit payable after a fixed period, a fixed time period. It can be fixed deposit or your recurring deposit, or the RDs as we know them. Fine. Next is deposit forms. Accounts can be individual, joint, proprietorship concern, companies, trusts, many accounts can be there. Many kinds of deposit accounts can be there. Then operation. The operational aspects are directly linked to this particular topic of operation. The accounts are operated by single users or multiple users with specific instructions for operation. Whether you require the signature of all the participants in that particular account or only the Karta will be signing. KYC compliance adherence to your know your customer policy norms is mandatory. So these are the certain salient features of deposit accounts. For our examination, what is more important? The salient features of current account and your saving accounts. So let's start with the current account. Who all are the users when we talk about the current account? So primarily it is used by the traders. In your branches also, you must be knowing that the businessmen, they prefer this type of account, that is current account. Business people, entrepreneurs, they maintain the current account. Generally there is no interest paid on the current account balances journally. The operations, large number of transactions are permitted. That is the only reason why businessmen often they go towards current account rather than the savings account, because transactions are huge and they are permitted here. Account holders, they can be opened by individuals or the business firms, business companies, the trusts, associations and societies. Whether ATM facility is available for all of them? No, it is available only to the individuals. Now there are certain restrictions also. Not all the individuals or not all the parties can open current accounts. Which are those parties who are restricted for opening the current account? Minors, they cannot open. Illiterate persons, generally not permitted. Then blind persons, directly not permitted, and Pardanashin women. So basically, if you cannot ensure the KYC of a particular individual, that is Pardanashin woman, there you need to have 2 witnesses always. Blind person, again some assistance is required. Illiterate person, the signature is an issue. Minor accounts, the age factor chips in. Next we have withdrawal restrictions. No restriction on the amount to be withdrawn or the number of times withdrawal can occur. There is no restriction at all. Minimum balance, the banks, they often stipulate certain minimum balance requirement. So overall, when we talk about the current account, what is important for our examination, what IIBF can ask, you must see all the topics which you are studying with the lens that what IIBF can ask. So when we are discussing this, what are the points where IIBF can create a question? Question can be created here. ATM facility for individual account is available. Fine. It can confuse you by giving n number of options, but the correct answer will be only individuals. Restrictions in the current account, for 4 options will be given. 5th option will be all of the above, like that. So not only you should just attend the session, in your mind you should play a picture that if the examiner is to set a question from this particular slide, then what all type of questions he or she can set. Next is TOD, that is temporary overdraft. Specific provision exists in current account rules permitting ODs. So OD limit is there in current account. Temporary or irregular OD or the overdraft, they are given to good and trustworthy customers against their written request. Normally the banks refrain from this, but in the books you can say yes, it is one of the mechanism which is set up for current account holders. P notes, promissory notes, a written request for TOD and demand promissory note should be furnished by the account holder. So these are the requirements if you want the temporary overdraft in your current account. Now let's see, after the current account you will have the savings account, you will have the basic SBAs, plus some term accounts will also, term deposits will be also discussed in the book. But now we will be focusing on the inoperative accounts. One type of deposit account we have seen, that is your current account. Now we will be focusing on the unclaimed deposits, because the guidelines which are there for your unclaimed deposit, the inoperative accounts, chances are high that question can be asked from there. So an annual review of both the saving bank account and the current account in which there are no operations. If nobody is operating that particular account, you should know, being a banker. So annual review is there. Mark this, highly important. Question can be directly asked. The saving bank and current account should be treated as inoperative or dormant if there is no transaction over 2 years. Greater than 2 years, it is inoperative. Debit as well as credit transactions induced at the instance of customers as well as third party should be considered. Okay, so normally as a customer, what we think that you have to debit only or you have to do the credit transaction only, but what is the actual norm when we are studying this inoperative accounts mechanism? debit as well as credit transactions induced at the instance of customers as well as the third party will be considered. Mark this, very important. Then service charges levied by the bank or interest credited by the bank should not be considered. Okay, debit credit in the form of service charges or the interest credit will not be factored in when we are specifically mentioning or specifically saying that this particular account is inoperative or not. There are instances where the customer has given a mandate for crediting the interest on TDs to saving bank account. So obviously it will not be considered while having the final definition that whether this particular XYZ account is inoperative or not. Okay, so once we have created the base that this particular type of account will be inoperative, then you have to display the list of inoperative accounts or the unclaimed deposits as well for the banks. As a general proactive measure, the banks are required to display on their respective websites the list of accounts which are inactive or inoperative for 10 years or more. Okay, not beyond 2 years but beyond 10 years. So this type of data can be asked in the examination. The publication of these particular accounts on the website will be done after how many years? So 10 years or more. It must contain only the names of the account holders obviously and the address. In case of the entities, the name of individual authorized to operate the account should also be indicated. So who all can operate the account? This is another, you can say, subtopic of your operational guidelines chapter, but for today we'll be sticking to the inoperative account or the unclaimed deposits subtopic only. No other details should be included in the list, be it the account number or you can say the CIF number. No, nothing like that. The information on the purpose of claiming the unclaimed deposit or activating the inoperative account and the necessary forms, documents for claiming the same should also be given. So online mechanism must be established so that the customers can have a convenient method to again reoperate their accounts. Now under these unclaimed funds, one important fund is your DEF, that is Depositor Education and Awareness Fund. Recently, this year only, I think that RBI has released the data that maximum DEF funds have been inculcated within its own setup by the public sector banks. So why it is important? In 2014, RBI established the DEF fund under the provision of Banking Regulation Act 1949. Do remember this. The banks are required to transfer the credit balance in any account or any deposit in a bank remain unclaimed or inoperative for more than 10 years. Okay, this particular amount will be transferred to this DEF fund. Fund is intended to be used for the purpose of education. Educating whom? Let's see. The amount is credited to the fund within 3 months from the expiry of your 10 years. So 3 months is the time period within which the amount which is held in that particular bank account will be transferred to the DEF fund. Utilized for promotion of depositors' interest as specified by RBI from time to time. The depositor can claim the funds deposited or any other unclaimed amount to operate the account even after the amount has been transferred to the fund. The bank will pay the amount to the depositor or the claimant and claim the refund of such amount from the fund which is being held by RBI. Okay, now next important point is the nomination facility. So we have picked, or you can say handpicked, only those important topics which will act as the first instance for all of you who are starting your unit number 5. So all the topics are being covered, but with an overview of that particular topic, not in-depth analysis is being made. For that, you can always join our sessions which are held on the learning portal of ADDA 247 or the application, that is ADDA 247 again, and thereon you can join those sessions while by enrolling in various courses. Right now we are conducting the PPB classes in our success batch, which is live. Today we had one orientation class which is live on YouTube also. If you have not seen that video, you can gauge the level of interaction we have in the actual classes by watching that particular session, and make up your mind that why you should join our classes, the live classes, the paid classes, I would say. Fine. So nomination facility, the Banking Regulation Act 1949, it was amended by section 37 of the Banking Law Amendment Act 1983 by introducing new section 45 ZA to ZF. Now these sections are highly important. Question has already been asked in the previous cycles, okay, and again IIBF can ask certain questions. Now this particular section was added for nomination facilities to the bank's customers in respect of the deposit account, safe deposit and your safe vault lockers. The relevant rules framed by the central government with reference to the above sections are termed as Banking Companies Nomination Rules 1985, which will determine the nomination facility in the banks. So there are three terms which you must remember. One, Banking Regulation Act 1949, it will ultimately lead you to the nomination facility, but how it was amended? It was amended by the section 37 of your Banking Laws Amendment Act of 1983. That is the second important thing. Third important point is the introduction of the sections 45 ZA to ZF. So in the nomination facility, there are certain forms. Okay, so three forms are of interest for our examination. So form DA1, what does it pertains to? It pertains for the nomination by depositors. So depositors, if they want to nominate somebody, form DA1 is used. Then DA2 for the cancellation of the nominators or of the nominations by the depositors. Then form DA3 for variation of the said nomination by the depositor. So one, you initiate the nomination process, DA1. You terminate or cancel that process, DA2. DA3 for certain modifications. Fine. Okay. So in the nomination facility, there are certain salient features in front of you. One by one, let's discuss them. So the nominee shall, on the death of sole depositor or all the depositors, entitled to receive the money in the account of the depositor. That is so obvious that once the death of sole depositor is there, nominee will be having the amount in his or her account. Nominations are not permitted in respect to the depositors held in any representative capacity, such as director, secretary, partner, karta of HUF. So all these designations, they cannot claim the funds and say that we are the nominees. No, because it is not permitted. If any customer does not wish to make nomination for any personal reason, an endorsement may be made in the nomination form. If there is no nominee added, then the process will start from scratch only. Nomination can be given only in the favor of an individual and not a firm. Do remember this, very important. There are n number of cases lying in the courts. Only one individual can be made a nominee for the particular deposit account. Then separate nomination in respect of each deposit account must be made. So if there are separate deposit accounts of one particular individual or under one CIF, then for every deposit account you must have separate nominations. Now once you know the type of deposit accounts, you know that what do we mean by the unclaimed funds, you know about the nomination facility. Now let's move on to the missing customer. If a particular individual is missing, then what to do? The FIR and the non-traceable report issued by the police authorities along with the letter of indemnity must be forwarded to the respective banks, and the claims, the unsettled claims, will be done in respect of missing person. It will be governed by the provision of section 107, 108 of IEA, India's, or you can Indian Evidence Act 1872, dealing with the presumption of continuance and presumption of death respectively. Fine. So continuance and death, if we talk about, so 107 talks about the continuance and 108 will be talking about the presumption that the person has died. Death can be presumed only after the lapse of 7 years. Mark this, very important. In the missing customer, if you want to say that a particular customer is missing and now he or she has died, that particular claim you can make only after the 7 years have lapsed from the date of reported missing. That is this particular report. Nominee or the legal heirs have to raise an express presumption of death of the depositor before a competent court. So nominee or the legal heirs, if they want to have those funds which are there in the presumed dead customer, then they must go to the competent court and make their claims. Fine. So this was it from my side. The particular target of this particular series is to give you an overview of all the important topics, so that when you are trying to study on your own, you can have a fresh mindset, a particular direction where you can study on your own. But if you want a dedicated approach and you are very serious to crack this examination of JAIIB in November 2025 only, I would highly recommend you to consider the success batch, which we have already launched, as I just told you in the video also, that today was the first class for PPB, and IIFS classes and AFM classes are already ongoing. RBWM will be starting very soon. So the classes have already begun. What all you will be getting, what all deliverables are there from our side, from our team. First of all, you will be having the live classes, which are highly interactive. We try to solve all your doubts within the class itself. We do not want you to, linger on those doubts and for the next week or 1 month you just think about those doubts. No, nothing like that. In the 1 hour of class, we try to accommodate all the doubts and resolve them. Still, if you are unable to understand or your doubts are not resolved, you can anytime have the contact with the respective faculty and we will resolve it. Then 150 plus test series are there, chapter wise tests are there in this particular batch. And why they are important? See, in the previous cycles, what we have noticed, the students who have cracked this exam, who have excelled in this exam with 60 odd scores, they had one common feature. Fine, the preparation level was more or less same, but what was distinguishing factor in their preparation was n number of mock tests, and that too of quality content. So quality MCQs were solved by them, quality test series were solved by them. Along with that, some additional notes were also provided to them via 150 plus ebooks. So complete package, you can say one-stop solution. It will serve for you, the success batch, if you are very serious to crack this exam in this particular attempt only. And not only the success batch, there are n number of, you can say, courses which are available on our website for your reference. Let's just see here. You can say go to the website, that is Adda 247. Just click on all courses, then JAIIB CAIIB and JAIIB November 2025, because the exam is on 2nd of November for IIFS, then we will having PPB. So here you can see JAIIB Increment MAHAPACK, JAIIB MAHAPACK. For bilingual students, the Arjuna batch is there. English medium, we have success batch. Not only this, but we have also launched the increment batch for both English medium as well as bilingual medium. Why these particular batches have been separately started? So that if you want to start your preparation from 27th of June, you can join these batches. If you want to start your preparation from scratch and you want all the classes in the live format only, live sessions only, then you can join increment batch. Otherwise, if you are okay with the covering the initial topics of all the subjects via recordings, because the classes have already begun here in the Arjuna batch, in the success batch, then you can join them also. But the most recommended one is this JAIIB Increment MAHAPACK. Why? Because all the courses, you will be having access to all the courses, be it the Arjuna batch, be it the success batch, be it the increment batch, bilingual, or the increment batch, English medium. Plus, we'll be coming up with the crash courses also, with the revision batches also, power pack revision batch also. All those batches will be accessible to all of you if you join the JAIIB Increment Mahapack. So the classes will be there, batches will be there, but the additional thing in this particular batch will be increment box. What all is included here in the increment box? You will be having your 4 books for your MCQ practice for all the 4 subjects: PPB, IFS, AFM, and RBWM. Along with that, you will be having the study planner, that how you should devise a strategy and study on your own, revise on your own basically, if you have already subscribed to our batch. Then the most important aspect, which was a miss in you can say previous cycle by IIBF, this time in May 2025, IIBF has asked numericals in all the subjects. So formulas become automatically important, and they are covered in this particular increment box via formula sheets. Plus some goodies from ADDA 247 will be delivered to you. This particular box, increment box, will be delivered to your home only at the address whatever you will be mentioning while enrolling in the course. Okay, so how you will be doing that? Just click on buy now, and here your personal details will be asked. You can just edit this and fill your personal details. After that, choose your payment, whatever payment mode you want: UPI, wallets, credit, debit card, net banking. EMI option is also available. After that, for maximum discount, you can just enter one special code, that is Y1003, hit on apply, and you can see that the amount payable will be reduced drastically. Okay, so this is the code which you can use to avail the maximum discount. Fine. After that, so you can just check out and make the payments. So if you have any doubt, do let me know in the live chat, or if you are watching this as a recorded video, then you can leave your doubts in the comment section. Okay, fine. So on that note, we'll meet in the next session of this particular series. Do remember, whatever we are studying in this particular session, in these sessions basically, it is not enough to crack the exam. For cracking this exam or qualifying this exam in one attempt only, you must have a plan. And if you enroll in the course, you will get everything, starting from the planning till the execution, which will be done by you, but we will be acting as a provider. Okay, so we'll meet in the next